Good afternoon, dear friends, partners, IoT fans, and welcome to our popular IoT webinar, where we share our
passion, ideas, love,
projects, partners, experience from the field. As always, we will tell you more about our partner, their project, use technologies, and some outputs from the project. And we will have plenty of time to answer all your questions. So don't hesitate, use our chat, and we will have another possibility to answer your questions during Q&A session. So let's start. My name is Alan. This is my colleague, friend Pavel.
Hello.
And CTO of our company. And I'm super happy that today in our studio is Dalibor from company iotor.
Hello Alan, hello all folks watching this webinar.
Perfect. So one more time, let's start. It's a cleaning day today.
So guys, tell me how this cooperation actually started.
That's what I know exactly how it started, because it was May 2020, COVID time, and I got email from our friend Stepan Bechinski from Microsoft.
Hello, Stepan.
Hello, Stepan. And he introduced us Dalibor from iotor, which was a very new company among other companies in group OKIN, right? And so that's how it started. But
I remember we had a cooperation back in 2016 or 17 with the OKIN. So how come that you have come up with a new company?
Yes, and it's your time to introduce yourself as a CEO of iotor and what you are doing and what OKIN is doing in IoT area.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for having me here. I am super excited that I can present iotor and our work and our joint work on the IoT things. I will maybe start with a little clarification, because you, Alan, you mentioned that today is a cleaning day. Mm-hmm. But as we are talking about facility management, it's not only about the cleaning. And it's a common misunderstanding, because we call it integrated facility management. It's about cleaning, but mostly about the maintenance and technical maintenance of the buildings, the spaces, and all the things around, and combined with the security, the administrative work, and all other activities in the building or facilities. So this is just, the beginning.
That's great. So we have a very first output, some real output from this webinar. So facility maintenance is not just about cleaning.
Yeah,
it's more complex.
More complicated, and that was even my, first observation or first learning in an OKIN Group, that facility management is something different than cleaning.
So it's a maintenance day, not it's a maintenance day.
It's the facility day.
Facility day,
yeah.
Okay. Facility.
So, but I would like to get back to the OKIN Group very briefly. So OKIN Group is a privately owned Czech group of companies having two main legs or streams. One is the OKIN facility, which we will talk about today. And the second is OKIN Process, which is a company focusing on outsourcing of the operations of companies, the back office, the front end, even some front end, like the accounting, operations, technical things, infrastructure, call centers, and all these things. And these two main streams are surrounded by the OKIN Labs, which is a group of technology companies. And my partners there are the company Hyver, developing the mobile application for field workers, Datlovet, which is the company focused on the data mining and data analytics, doing, for example, very interesting application Heidi, which is focused on detection of the secondary infection in hospitals. Very interesting solution. Then is Textra for RPA, robotic process automation. And then finally, we are coming to iotor, which is the youngest member of this group.
And before we get to the point, how large is OKIN as a company?
OKIN Group is about a little bit more than 4,000 people across the whole Europe and even States, because we are focusing on the Eastern and Central Europe. This is for the facility management mainly. And then for the Western Europe, South Africa, and the US, where is the OKIN Process focused.
And speaking Czech Republic?
Speaking Czech Republic, there is more than half of these people. So maybe let's coming to 3,000 people.
Wow, that's
definitely.
impressive.
Yeah. In all these.
Oh, it's a little bit bigger than HARDWARIO.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Kind of.
We are now part of the
No, but
Fathers
you know,
Army.
But
But
let's go to iotor. Maybe. So iotor is a around 1 year old company. So
Maybe.
we are really now coming to the celebrating our first anniversary. But the history of IoT within the OKIN Group is longer. You mentioned 2016, for example. Yeah. So based on the experiences with IoT in the facility management and even in the process and other parts of the group, the management of OKIN decided that it's very interesting technologies. It's a very good area to really focus on. And then the iotor come to the world, and as a company purely focused on implementing the IoT technologies and really, how we sell, making sense of IoT. Because this is important for us, that we would like to make sense of this IoT, not only talking about, but really doing the practical solution, starting with maybe small projects and enlarging them in the company, during the time, and to prove that this is something which is, very large area, but can deliver specific outcomes and concrete outcomes in a short time with reasonable amount of money. And this is what we do. And we of course using the non-invasive technology, combining it with our platform, which we will talk about, and focusing on deliver the value on assets.
So we have another outcome. IoT is not only toys. Yeah. So
that's definitely. I know that you are starting. Usually, you're starting your presentation with these huge numbers from Gartner, but the second slide is about sense of IoT, about meaningful IoT, and that's perfect. Going step by step, brick by brick, and building projects from the bottom.
And when we started, we saw a lot of interesting projects in different areas: production, facility management, environmental, and all these things. And we've been thinking how for the companies how to effectively start. And we come with our experiences, past experiences, that it was really hard to start from scratch, to build the whole solution. And that's the way why the reason why we started to develop our SARA.hub platform, smart asset with rapid action. This is the acronym, and to help us and our customers to really start effectively and start, within few weeks, and for reasonable amount of money.
Yeah, that's great. I think now it's time to talk more about these specific projects we have in our portfolio. We are doing together. So let's go to this topic and describe several projects we are working right now on.
But before we dive into the particular projects, could I ask you, what was the motivation to deep dive into development of your own platform? Because I assume that you must have evaluated a lot of solutions before you take this serious decision. So could you tell us what was the decision point and what was the experience with other solutions?
Yes, we done a lot of evaluation. That's true. In the beginning, we had like a 1 or 2 presentation per week. Coming, one another. We saw the platforms from Czech, from all over the world. But finally, we decided that we definitely go with our platform that we will develop, because what we been missing was the real aim or real integration on all the inputs and outputs for the solution. So gathering the information from different sources and then being able to react, to define the scenarios. And because most of the solution on the market we found was specifically focused on some area, like metering or on environment or production or agriculture, something like that, and mostly about just dashboards and showing some alarms on the dashboard, and that's it. And then of course there have been platforms which we been doing what we exactly wanted, but these were super expensive. And we knew that coming with these platforms for the smaller projects or the entrance projects for IoT, it will be like killing for factors. So we decided that we want something which has the integration on inputs and even to the surrounding systems, like the systems for workflows and for notification, etc. And having the right scenarios, or having the right environment for defining the scenarios of reaction. So that was the main reasons why we started to build our own platform. And one more small thing that was there, the practical point of view, because usually we got to the platforms and we can do everything. But when we ask, okay, I have this sensor here, like this one, and how you connect it? Oh, we need to do some transformations. No, I want to have this sensor or some other sensor, and quickly, like within 1-2 hours, have it sending the data to our platform. And this is what SARA is doing.
Yeah, this openness on both sides, it's very clear in your solution. So, I mean, we are happy because we can because of this solution and SARA and how it's designed, we can easily connect our devices.
You were mentioning inputs and outputs, and just for simplification, clarification to our viewers, could you tell us some examples, like what are typical scenarios in your system?
Okay, I can give you like example. I have this. I really like this device. This is Cooper.
You know this device?
Oh, I never saw it before.
So this is Cooper. Let me introduce to Cooper, and it's measure a lot of things, and it's nice. And for example, we have it in let's say meeting room, and you have a meeting there, and now the CO2 concentration go to the skies, breaking some limits, some setup limits, and you want to react on that. And you can start some notification somewhere, but we are able, for example, so we can connect to this, and we can even connect to the people counting machine. So we have these two inputs. We can combine the CO2, we can combine the number of people, we can combine the temperature outside of the building, and then because we decide, okay, there is a meeting based on this information, we start the ventilation. We send the request to the BMS, building management system, or by just start the ventilation somewhere. But not only this, we can start the notification. We can send to the people attending the meetings. We can send them the notification into the Teams, for example. Hey, there is a CO2, open the window or make a break, or we will fall in sleep. And then, so the second thing, and then we can even create the task in the service desk for the cleaning team that they have to clean the room after this meeting.
That's what I like the most. That because everybody can imagine that when carbon dioxide is too high, you will open the window or start ventilation. That's obvious, but that you will create a ticket for this maintenance team, I mean the cleaning team, that's the real solution. That because in other cases, cleaning is made by some schedule, and it can be in different times, but you need the cleaning right after the meeting, because probably there will be another meeting, and so this is great example.
And now we are getting to the predictive and reactive cleaning. This is very nice topic.
Yes,
because,
so
that was I was just about to ask from previous discussion. So if you can explain in detail, like what
I like these two topics. Even the FM is not about the cleaning only, but I like this predictive and reactive cleaning. So imagine the reactive cleaning. This is something based on, for example, that we managed to monitor the CO2 level. We identified that there was a meeting, and we sent the cleaning team to clean the room. Maybe it's a small room, we don't need to clean it immediately, but it's a larger room, meeting ends, we send the team there, and this is the reaction. Or it can be even maybe based on the, pressing the button. So
on-demand cleaning.
Yeah, on-demand cleaning. So you this coffee will go down, so I can then just press the button, and somebody will come and serve me the new coffee. But this is the reaction. But I like the predictive cleaning. It's it's based on the occupancy, on the monitoring of the real usage. So we can monitor how many people been in the open space, for example, how many people been in a meeting room, if some of the offices being used or not during the day. And I can then create the cleaning schedule for this day. But this is from the real experiences. This is kind of, let's say, utopia. But what is, because the cleaning teams are not so flexible in this case. It can be in a larger campus. But what is the predictive cleaning more about is that you monitor the behavior within the offices and the building in, like, for example, months. And you optimize the cleaning for the next months based on this. So you, for example, will see that people are coming on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and there is less people on the Thursday and on Friday. So you adapt the cleaning schedule for the next month based on these findings.
Which can give you like a competitive advantage, that you can prove your clients that you are optimizing their bills and they are not paying for over cleaning of the space that was not really used.
So we got several running projects right now, but maybe it's time to show this example with this carbon dioxide, and I hope it will be with Cooper, in SARA environment. So if you can show us a little bit more, show us how it works in SARA application, it would be nice.
Okay, let's go.
Good idea. Demo time.
Demo. Okay, so let's take a brief look at what is SARA.hub about, how the environment looks and feel. So if you open the web application with SARA.hub, the main part of the screen will be the hierarchical digital twin. You can easily navigate through the different locations, different places which you manage, which you want to control. For example, here I click through the Czech Republic, through Prague to the Průmyslový park Harfa, which is one place we are using as a demo site. And you can see that I can combine the maps, I can combine the visual description of the place, the aerial map. I can even use different type of graphics. I can go here into the different places. I can see, for example, this is my favorite place. This is the warehouse with wine. I can easily monitor the temperature here. I can monitor the electricity power consumption. I can go to different places here. I can go, for example, to the boiler room and see the different informations from IoT sensors like flooding, temperature, the electrometer, and combine them with information coming from building management systems like the boiler 1, boiler 2, the temperature, the errors, possible errors, or the outcome pressure for the boiler room. I can easily choose the access rights for different places. So if you saw the warehouse with wines, it can be displayed only to the owner of this place. The boiler room can be displayed for the facility management people within the RL. And I can go even here into the OKIN facility, the main office, the main headquarters of this company. And I can go into you can see this floor, the space plan. You can go into the different meeting rooms and see the parameters here. I can of course go into the detail of some devices, of some sensors. For example, this one is a Cooper from HARDWARIO, one of our favorite sensors. So I can easily load all the informations, all the data about the environment here and see the temperature, humidity, concentration of CO2, the lighting, the sound level, etc. And I can even go, and see the information from electrometers, from the meters of the heating, of water consumption. And you can see here that I can combine even with maybe the people counting systems, so I can then combine the evaluation of the different parameters. You can see here that one pin here is a red, so I can go here. This is the server room, and I see that one of the temperature is marked as with red color, and in the detail I see that there is an incident, and this incident saying me that there was exceed in temperature for the server room. I can see what was the history of the temperature at that time. I can see the current values then to check, and I can even go into the service desk task which has been created based on this situation, because you can control what will happen when something is measured and analyzed within the SARA.hub. And in this case, the task in the application which is used by OKIN facility to maintain the whole ARL is created, and the whole flow of the work and control and evaluation is then realized in the separate application. And this is one of the beauty of SARA.hub, the integration to surrounding systems. How to build these scenarios is even very easy. So you can go here into the management, where you can manage whole the environment, even the digital twin and what is displayed and how. But you can go into the scenario management and create very easily or maintain the scenarios already created. I can go here, for example, into the meeting room Polsko, and here is the scenario for increase of CO2 concentration, for example. And this scenario tells me that it's running all the time. It controls the CO2 concentration, and I can select what will happen when this trigger will be met. So, for example, I can select the notification for email, the SARA.hub. I can manage the notification into the Microsoft Teams, or I can create, as I mentioned, the service desk task or ticket, and I can even start the ventilation system. So in this case, I am starting the ventilation of the meeting room because the CO2 level was increased, and I can even start the cleaning task for this meeting room because definitely there was a meeting. And I can combine these actions. I can even connect to other different systems and applications, and in this way very easily create the scenarios. So this has been let's say the brief description of the environment, and I can even maybe show more in details and other features if you want later today or on different meeting.
Dalibor, thank you so much for the demo. It's absolutely impressive, and I can see that this must have taken a huge amount of effort. And we are very proud to be part of the system and our sensors feeding data to SARA.hub. Would you mind sharing with us how many people for how many years have been working on such system?
Okay, so very roughly, say it's like 10 months development. Approximately about 4 people.
And now I know that you are working even on new version of SARA.hub, right?
Yeah, and it will even move it, forward a lot.
Going to Mars.
Now I have much better perspective why you are creating this and why this helps you to create new scenarios that helps to accelerate and improve cleaning services.
That's what I like the most, scenarios and this ticketing. This is probably the most important thing, that you got this scenario, and in the end there is some action or reaction, as you say.
Yeah, because that's what we are saying, that the most important on IoT is the reaction, not only collect. You need to collect the data, you need to visualize, but the most important is to react based on the data.
Yeah, because it's not like sometimes IoT is a picture on the wall that you are, looking at this dashboard like but I think that the most important thing is to do something, with the data and somehow solve the problem.
And this is the goal of SARA, to really send then the reaction into different systems around, like the Teams, service desk, ServiceNow, all other things, even with the energy consumption directly to the ERP, or the CRM ticketing tool, wherever you want.
Are you already receiving positive feedback from your customers, how it is improving, like their experience with your services?
Yeah, we are receiving the positive feedback differently from the customers and from the OKIN as a company who is mainly using it right now. And we see that it improves the quality of the service and the effort required from the people.
Great.
Because it's a very competitive market, the facility management. You mentioned, with very low margin, you have to be ahead of your competitors with new technologies. That's why you are investing that much into it.
And we see that this is definitely the competitive advantage, and the customers are, very appreciate that we are moving, forward with the new technologies.
I know that you are not just in this facility management area. Together we have much more projects. They are running, and in your head and in our heads, we have many of them. What about to describe our fans, some of them more deeply? Do you agree?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So we have been already through some journey. So let's wrap it up. Today you have these units, Coopers, which are feeding data, and they can measure carbon dioxide, temperature, humidity, light intensity, acoustic background. They can detect motion and probably many other attributes. You have also tested one asset tracking unit. Through NB-IoT, we were able to monitor position of various assets. And we have recently deployed another cool project, which is this golf balls deployer. How do you
because
call
we
that?
are, yes, that you are not a golf player.
No,
me
whatsoever.
Me neither, because I started several years ago, but I felt, but you are, so exactly what you are doing. So, but as you said, wrap it up. We are monitoring many values, temperature, humidities all around some warehouses and meeting rooms. But this golf project is very special. So let's
it's special
talk about it.
only because of the area that it's not the real facility management, but it's special even because the device is not only sensing, but it's even acting. So this is about very, very shortly. It's about the vending machines for the golf balls on a golf range, and you can imagine any vending machines for any stuff. And what we are working with one of our partners to really do the application where you can remotely, by just the mobile phone, you can acquire the box of the golf balls on the driving range just by clicking on the mobile application, and we are delivering together the device which secured the vending and controlling the machines, which are different types, very old machines usually. So I think that it's a very good device. Which
it's retrofitting.
Retrofitting. And what I really like on this is that we can use this approach for even control different devices. We can even control like the simple ventilations. We can control any other machine which we can start, and based again on, for example, the values from the Cooper. So as I mentioned, the scenario with the CO2 level, we cannot even ask the building management system to start the ventilation. We can start it directly with some, fan in a wall. So it's really good way how to enlarge the IoT usage to even control.
Actually, in this case, we have connected your SARA.hub with HARDWARIO cloud, because you are controlling this device through API requests, and you are controlling the relays and deploy these balls from this golf vending machine. So it's like another example, like you can easily extend your system, and thanks to this open approach, you can add additional connectors. So
but my question is, if you remember, what platform was used in this project? What platform? Because you got Cooper in this golf.
Oh yes, it was Tower, right?
It was Tower, our IoT kit. That's the beauty, that what we did, we created a special set of these modules from IoT kit in just few hours, and we had a solution, and it was implemented.
And it was in this like box, and inside there was all these box relay modules and LoRa modules.
Works like this. Yes, in this case we are using LoRa connectivity, non-narrowband IoT, which is perfect, and it's fully covered in our country. It's great, and so the golf, yes, and hopefully we will have more projects in this era of vending machines, because, as you said, There are some old vending machines, and there are like millions on the market, and we can make them smarter. We can digitize these old machines. Great.
We can now control plethora of machines, right? Recently we have created this also fog triggered cannon. Well, this is a different story, but
different story. Okay, perfect. Dalibor, what are your plans, for the future? I mean, iotor, IoT, and even your cooperation with us, with HARDWARIO.
The plans are, big, and we definitely want to, enlarge the scope and scenarios. But very recently, what we are working on, very practically, is, usage your devices in various scenarios, like monitoring of the temperatures in the transformers in switching rooms, very important for our facility people. Monitoring the compressors in factories, monitoring the power generating units, the diesel aggregates, when they are running and where is the power outage, for example. That's, again, very important information and management of these devices. Then even working on some cleaning machines. And this is, I think, topic which you really like, because we've been there last week. And
very fresh project.
I fell in love with cleaning vehicles. Yeah.
I mean these big ones.
The ones you can drive.
Yes, like this Forrest Gump,
Okay, once we will then make the race.
Yeah. In the shopping malls, when you see these people riding
and
these
they are probably
horses.
more expensive than your car.
Yes, sometimes that they can go to like 20,000 euros just like this.
So we got some plans with this, and so let's talk a little bit, because we have even nice pictures from the installation, and there are some technological not barriers, because we call it challenges, and
those have been already accepted. Yeah, so we'll talk about those.
So let's start with okay. So let's present if you can, your partner in this. Your customer or.
The thing is that, the OKIN facility use, the fleet of these cleaning machines as any other, facility management companies. And definitely we are, facing some challenges with these machines. We are facing the situations where we don't know how many hours they are working, if the people are cleaning actually with these machines. We have the issues with the battery management. So that's why we started to think about how to monitor them. And we asked you guys to help us with this, because the thing is that you have different types of cleaning machines from one vendor, but from other vendors as well. So we need something which we can, easily connect to the machine without, direct connection to the management board in the machine, and to control when the machine is moving, how long is it moving. If during this movement, if the cleaning is started, if it's really
if
clear,
the brushes are running,
what is the battery condition, how it's the recharged, how often, for how long, because this is influencing the life of the battery, and these batteries are really expensive. These are big batteries, thousands of euros.
Those are lead acid batteries, right?
So we ask you for help to monitor these machines, because we want to evaluate all this information to even optimize the cleaning, to optimize the fleet, to optimize the maintenance of these devices.
So we were able to open up these machines and look inside of them. We saw this set of batteries.
And I can tell the electronics, the main control board, which was huge like this, it was some real high tech. It was, I can tell that it is some artwork, and it's not easy to control such device, because, as you said, there are big batteries and there are high power engines or motors, DC motors, which you have to control. And the ultimate challenge, the first challenge, is to easily hook up the device and the sensors around these machines, so we can quickly get all those meaningful data in a reliable way, so you can based on those data, tell what is the exact state of the machine. So we are working on that. And during this real session, this opening session, we found a few spots, and we came to the idea that we will use non-invasive current measurement, because all motors are DC. We need to solve the challenge how to measure the DC current in a non-invasive way. Fortunately, we have a solution in the market. It's called DC current transformer. It has actually many aliases and names, but it's actually a probe like this, which uses this open core, and this ferrite core is actually condensing the magnetic flux. Yeah. So this is something that you can hook on a wire, and the principle is that when there is electric current, there is a magnetic field around it. So the goal is to measure the magnetic field. Much easier is to do it with alternating currents, because then you can use the traditional current transformer. The problem with current transformer is that it only works with this alternating current. It simply saturates, and then for DC current, it doesn't show anything, any signal. So for DC currents, you have to use and measure the static magnetic field. And this little guy is helping us, because thanks to this ferrite core, it like concentrates the magnetic flux, and there is a Hall sensor which can measure the magnetic field. So there are these sensors which are ready to be used, and soon we are about to offer them also through our eShop, because we see that there is actually a lack of these sensors in the Czech market at least. So this is something you can simply hook on this DC wire of the motor and get a proportional voltage proportional to the current. So this is the way how we are about to sense that the motors are running.
Non-invasive way, as
yes,
always.
We will not affect the electronics. We will just hook it on the existing wiring. And the sensors will be connected to our Chester units, which are equipped.
Yeah, we presented it many times, so you know that it's our probably the most favorable platform right now, because we monitor many other machines in the industry and agricultural with Chester.
And we have chosen narrowband IoT connectivity because it's available everywhere in the Czech Republic. So it will be easy for you to deploy it, and there will be these three current probe sensors, and there will be one voltage monitor for the battery, so we can observe the behavior of the battery throughout the time, and we will be able to hopefully tell the points when the predictive maintenance should kick in and when you should already order some new batteries, so the machines can keep its operation.
And it will perfectly, and we will connect everything to SARA.hub. So if you guys are interested in this solution, let's talk to us, send us your projects, your ideas, and we will connect you to Dalibor and iotor, and you can start your mutual journey. So this is a project with cleaning, or to monitor cleaning machines. Do you have any idea what we can do about this? Because I know that you are heading to even industry.
Yeah, because I think that this sensing of the machines, it doesn't matter if it's cleaning machine, is some tractor, is something else. But we have a lot of projects ahead with monitoring the different devices. Like it can be like the production device, which produce something in a factory, and you want to, in non-invasive way to monitor the production. We are working on some ideas how to monitor even other technologies in the buildings, for example, like the ventilations, the boilers, etc., without having broken into the BMS systems, etc. They are usually closed, and it's hard to get in and to manage them. But with these devices, which can measure the signals and the power there, and even act, we can do a lot of things in these buildings and machinery and production.
That's great. So Dalibor, you said several minutes ago that let's wrap it up a little bit. Now it's time to wrap up this wonderful webinar with you, and we really enjoy working on these projects with iotor, and there are many projects ahead of us, and we are happy, and we will be happy to share maybe in the next webinar what we achieved together. That's great. Now it's time, to go to our Q&A
session.
Thank you, because it's too late for me, so sorry, to answer your questions. But before this, let's point some three things, what we learned during our webinar today. The first was that facility management is not just about cleaning, right?
Yes.
The second thing was probably, what I remember is that you are working on meaningful IoT projects with some meanings. And third, that it's worth it to cooperate, not only with us, but to cooperate in this area, to work together like HARDWARIO is doing with iotor.
I think there is plenty of opportunities even for you, for your company, to think about improving the facility management. And in that case, we have this amazing partner. Get in touch. I think the SARA.hub is a really comprehensive platform that they can have everything under the control and take meaningful actions. So, good job there.
Thank you.
And thank you. And let's go to Q&A session.
That's right. Thanks.
Thanks. Good afternoon, dear friends, and welcome to Q&A session. Don't hesitate to ask your question in our chat. We are very sorry for today's connection problems, but as was mentioned in our chat, we will upload the version without any gap. So we have a first question on you, Dalibor.
Thank you. I think it's good to summarize what we've been talking about and what are the key areas. So the first area which I see in the facility management where IoT can help is to create a healthy and productive environment. So help to build better place for people and even for machines. The second area is we talk about a lot the smart cleaning, like the predictive, reactive cleaning, and even control the quality and the realization of the cleaning. The third area is a big area in these days, and the energy management and energy monitoring. So for savings and for some protection against losses. Then the fourth area is the space optimization, and especially in these days, again, to know how your space is, how it behaves, how many people are coming there, how you will have to plan your space in the future. And then the smart maintenance, and this is a big and huge area to focus on, because it's not only about the maintenance of the buildings, but also about the technologies in the buildings and all the devices within and surrounding the building. So these are the main areas where IoT can definitely help in FM. And the important is to really integrate it with the other facility management tools.
Thank you. I can see that there are some comments that maybe there are some sound issues, so we are having still some problems. Again, very sorry for this, and but you know that you can ask your questions. Even you can ask the questions, and we will answer these questions other way. For example, by sending you an email. But let's go to second question, and it's somehow connected to what you answer in the first one, because speaking about facility management, what trends you feel? What do you think that what are the trends in your in this area?
Looking back to the last few months, what I really see as areas where our clients are focusing on is the energy monitoring of the energy consumption, to optimize it and to really plan maybe even for the future. The second area is the maintenance and device control. So to have the remote control of the environment and of the technologies within the building. And the third is connected with the actual situation is the CO2 monitoring and connected to the ventilation, because the CO2, even these sensors are not so cheap. They are still one of the best way how to monitor the quality of the air in the buildings, in the offices, in the meeting rooms, and to react on increasing CO2 by ventilation or just opening the window.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. The third question is kind of mine. Even you were pushing me a little bit because you asked me, what I know about this era. It's what are the differences between building management systems? I think that everybody knows what building management systems are, and IoT. Or what's your opinion about this, about these differences?
There is a big discussion around this topic, definitely, because the building management systems, this building automation system, sometimes in Czech we call it like the MAR, měření and regulace. So these systems are present in many buildings. By our observation, it's not many. It's like in 60% of the big commercial buildings there is some kind of building automation systems. And of course, it's somehow making the building smart. And IoT focusing or aiming on the similar things, similar use cases. But so these two things, the IoT and building management system, can work together. IoT can extend the reach of these smart solutions within the buildings, even to the spaces where, for example, the wired BMS are not present. But sometimes the IoT can be substituted to the big BMS, and especially in the buildings, in old buildings or smaller buildings, we can even subsidize the BMS by IoT, and there is big discussions between these two groups of people fighting sometimes. But still, I see even the cooperation possible.
Which group is more conservative?
Try to guess.
Of course, but in the end, everybody will be happy about the implementation of IoT. That's my opinion. Thank you. Now let's talk a little bit about technology, Pavel, because you got this probe, in your hands, and there's a question about some currents. So what is the range of currents these specific probes can measure?
Mm-hmm. So like with any sensor, you can get a whole range of currents where you can use this sensor. It starts typically with 10 amps, can go to hundreds of amps. That's what I could find. On the other hand, I was really surprised that for this DC current Hall sensor, there is not that huge offering like I would expect. So this is like challenge for you. If you have some tip and some very compact, ultra small DC current sensor, please let us know. We'll be happy to hear about your sources. Right now we have this one, so it is okay for this application to install in this cleaning machine, but we could imagine that something will be more demanding in saving the space. So specifically this current probe can measure 100 amps.
That's great, and we altogether we can see many use cases when we can use these probes, these kind of devices, which will help us non-invasively monitor machines and other devices. And I'm looking forward to it, Dalibor. As I said in the beginning, I'm super happy that you are here in our studio. Thank you so much. Not only what you did today in this webinar with us, that you explained the facility management. You taught us that facility management is not just about cleaning, and there are many areas where we can improve facility management by implementing IoT technologies. Thank you that you are our partner, and good luck, and hopefully very soon we will have you again in this studio with new projects you are doing within your OKIN Group and with iotor company.
Thank you, Alan. Thank you for having me here. Thank our audience for listening, and I hope that I shared at least some interesting information to you. And thank you also for your help, because you are helping us with your hardware and your knowledge, your approach. You are a great partner for us, so thank you for this.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Of course, Pavel, thank you for your technical background. It's always needed. Thank you so much.
Thank you. You're welcome.
And of course, you guys, thank you for watching us, supporting us. Again, sorry for today's problem with connection. But as Dalibor mentioned, we are helping them and they are helping us. So even you can be our partner. Please go visit our website, partnership section, and ask. And it's very easy to become our partner. See you next time. It will be roughly next month, in the end of the next month, and we will talk about IoT in production, in manufacturing. We will speak about OEE. So thank you again. Take care and see you soon.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Stay healthy.